Welcome and thanks for watching. My name is Glenn Hatchell. I am a certified professional dog trainer, and I put together this video primarily for our adoption counselors who, as part of their job, have to conduct meet and greets where potential adopters come in with their dog, and the adoption counselors have one of our dogs, and the dogs meet, and then that's going to be a big factor of whether or not the people decide to adopt the available dog. And it, for a lot of adoption counselors, it's probably the most stressful part of their job. So the purpose of this video is to help you understand dog communication signals so you can recognize the warning signs or red flags when two dogs are meeting. And I'll also point out, and a lot of highlights in here, about how you and the other handler position yourselves to be able to reduce the risks of some sort of an incident or scuffle breaking out. So the first thing I want to talk about is the picture that you see here. And if any of you have done yoga, then you know this as down dog. That's exactly what we have right here. In the dog world, we know this as a play bow. It's that universal signal that says whatever I do next is not a threat. It's all play. This is what we look for, one of the key things that we look for when we are introducing two dogs together for the first time. The body, or the chest, is down and the rear end is up. You're going to see another dog here, the one on the right, the hound. Again, the same thing. And then there he is on the left. So what we have here are two dogs meeting for the first time. This is the first time that we put these two dogs together. And you can see a lot going on here. I'll let you watch it. But everything we look for is happening in this video. So as an adoption counselor, or if you were introducing two dogs for the first time, this is a good greeting. This is the kind of thing that you would want to see. I was very happy with how these two dogs met, especially considering the size of the brindle dog. So I'm going to rewind this video so we can watch it again, because I want to point out some really key things here that I'm going to talk about throughout the video. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail yet because we're going to see it in many videos. Go back to here. So we've got the last play bow. So this seems to be respectful, and the white dog goes running away, but then comes right around. So there's a play bow. And that tells me, okay, the white dog is comfortable. The black dog is being kind of goofy and moving in, and right here does not go pursuing the white dog. So it's keeping the distance, giving that little bit of respect to the other dog. And there, if you see how he's being almost gentle coming in, playful, but he's not moving in with his body. All of these are really good signs that tell me that there's really good dog communication going on here. Here's the big thing. The white dog runs to the corner, and the brindle dog stays right here and does not pursue. Lets the other dog keep that distance. That's big. So play bows, very key. That's what we're looking for. So that was a meet and greet that went really well. Let's look at one that doesn't go quite so well. So this is what you're going to see at the dog at the top of the screen, is sniffing around and peeing, but there's another dog in the yard in the lower right hand. So there's a lot going on right now, but we're letting the dogs be dogs. That's key. So Cameron comes to a stop and the other dog approaches. That was a pretty fast approach, but he stopped. If you notice, the bodies are really stiff. There's a lot of stiff wagging. So Cameron's stepping backwards, and the other dog looked at her, now comes right in. They're nose to nose. That's a warning sign. I don't like nose to nose greetings. Dogs generally go side to side on their face on that greeting. Now comes back in, they're side to side. But the black dog came up on its back legs, and that is a warning sign as well. The problem is that happens instantaneous to the launch. But Cameron and the other person were positioned to where when that happened, I want you to watch what Cameron does when that happens. And as you're watching it, I didn't go back far enough. As you're watching it, what you will see is that when that dog launches, all Cameron is going to do is step backwards. So pretty much watch Cameron at this moment, because you'll see the dog out of the corner of your eye, but watch what Cameron does when that, did you see? All she had to do was step back a little bit. The handlers, practically neither of them had to move. That's part of positioning I'm going to continue to point out through the video, that will do. That's a great way to reduce the risk of having a scuffle or an incident break out. So the yellow dog gets to continue to sniff around and kind of do dog things, be a dog. That's key. Now in this video, again, the dog gets to sniff around. I'm also watching the reaction of the dog that was looking out the fence about his reaction to other people. Now you can see, or it feels like to me that the yellow dog, I'm not sure that that's even the same dog though that reacted in the previous video. Now I don't remember, but I'm holding the black dog, and because I knew I could, he would let me restrain him there, and I wanted the other dog to be able to check him out. Oh, that is the same dog. I could tell by the way she's going to the bathroom right there. So her reaction to this dog is much calmer, I feel. And if you notice, they're both staying away from each other. There wasn't that immediate come right in. So now we've got a different dog, and you can just see these, we're keeping them on leash. Now we've decided at that moment, Cameron just dropped the leash of the black dog, or the smaller dog, I'll say, shorter dog, I'll call him smaller. So now they're coming together, and the bigger dog goes running away. The smaller dog goes in pursuit. Having the leash on, Cameron was able to just grab right there. And trust me, that looked worse than it is, because that's just the way the camera picked it up. The dog wasn't going that fast. But the advantage was she was able to grab the leash, and if an incident breaks out, we don't have to reach at the face to be able to separate them. So let's watch it again. They come together. Bigger dog is nervous, so goes running away. And now he's trying to continue to go, but the smaller dog is pursuing. And we wanted the dog that wanted to increase distance be able to do that. So we've got the smaller dog back on leash again, and I just dropped the leash of the taller dog. So a little of what we're doing here is trying to diffuse any tension that may be in this scenario. Now the taller dog is going closer to the other one, which is a good sign. That's what I want to see. So now we've got another meet and greet, or another dog on dog. We have we have two more. Okay, we have a Rottweiler coming in right here, coming close in, and the Rottweiler says hi and turns right around and starts sniffing. The bigger dog is sniffing around, but isn't doing anything concerning. Now it goes up on the back a little bit, but the Rottweiler completely ignored it. All of these are good signs. The smaller dog, I'll say again, isn't going crazy, isn't trying to pull me over to the Rottweiler, which is great. All I do right there is step back, and this dog follows me over. So I've created more distance there, but what's happening is that the Rottweiler is going to come around from the bottom right, or from the right side of the screen, and comes right into the side, if you notice, and basically lets the other dog come right up and then continues to sniff. All of these things are really, really good signs. The only reason we have not dropped leashes in this case is because if there's something I'm misreading, the damage that could happen could be severe. And there's no reason to take that risk yet. But I'm very comfortable with everything I'm seeing at this moment, especially from the Rottweiler. These are things that would make me want to say that he's a confident dog. But if you noticed, Cameron and I are not looking or not engaging or doing anything at all. This is all about the dogs. This is all about the dogs. And I think there may be one other person in the yard at the moment, and they're not even within frame. Because we don't want any influences happening. We want to know, we want it to be as natural of a situation for the dogs as possible. Part of me is wondering why I haven't dropped the leash already. Oh, so that's what it was, because the Rottweiler, I wanted to see the Rottweiler come in to do that kind of greeting. And once I saw it was that good, it was like, okay, I'm comfortable now. And as you can see, the two of them are just hanging out over there. And I did that just to see if the Rottweiler would come to me, if there was any sort of possession, so to speak. Would the other dog come in and say, no, I want that petting? The Rottweiler kind of did it right there. The Rottweiler went over to Cameron a little bit, but if you look, there doesn't seem to be tension between the dogs. So we just let it play out. But again, now we're giving attention because we're taking that next step on this introduction. Is there going to be an issue that's going to be created from, no, my person? And right there, we don't see a whole lot. So I've taken off my mask because the Rottweiler seemed to be a little unsure about coming up to me. As you can see how he's squatting down just a little bit on the back end, that's a little bit of a fear sign. And that made me uncomfortable about the fact that I was squatting when I saw him do that. And now he wants to move into me and is getting excited. And I'm like, nope, I'm not in a safe position. So I stood up and kind of took myself out of that equation and let the dogs go back at it. So now we have another dog coming in here. If you notice, this dog's body's stiff. You notice that tail is up, not quite as much movement. These are alert signs for me. I wouldn't say warning yet because I don't know enough about this dog, but that is definitely, I am paying a lot of attention to that dog. And part of it is because of the stiffness in the body. So he's coming right in. You notice the pulling the way he is right there. That tail is up, not hardly moving. And then he leans over the shoulder of the other dog. So let's watch that again. So you see this stiffness going on here. And this is going to come up in slow motion right here. And I'm going to rewind this so we can watch it again, because this is the video where I'm going to talk about positioning yourself with the other person. So we've got the dog coming in the lower right corner, who seems to be pretty relaxed, but the brown dog, you can see that stiff body. Now I'm in slow motion. Look at that tail up, pulling forward and sniffing down. Now there's, you're going to see right there coming up, and this dog's now coming up. That snout comes over the shoulder a little bit and then launches right at the snout of the other dog. So I had full expectation that was going to, I knew that was a strong possibility that was going to happen right there. But let's come back to right here. So if you notice, as Cameron comes in, I'm going to talk right now about our positioning. The leashes stay in a straight line from dog to dog. So as the dogs come up and go to the side, you're going to see me position myself to the brown dog to where my leash and Cameron's leash is in a straight line. Well, kind of. So when the brown dog launches, all I do is I don't even have to step back right there. I just pull back a little bit because all I needed to do was make sure the brown dog did not lay teeth on the black dog. So doing it again, and this is now going to be in slow motion. So watch this, and 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 I would watch it right now. We're going to watch this 2 more times, but watch this positioning from Cameron and I at the moment. So just watch our leashes and watch when I move, watch how the other dog moves. And if you notice, Cameron's now got herself to the side and I'm to the side. So there's no way our leashes can get tangled up. And I'm moving now to where we're more in a straight line with those leashes. And when that dog goes to launch, we both moved back at the same time. So it pretty much eliminated the opportunity for risk right there. So I hope you have found a lot of value in what I've put together here. Every scenario is different. Remember that your dogs live with each other, and the dogs that you saw in this video were just meeting for the very first time. We don't know their play styles. We don't know how they're going to react. If we think back to the Rottweiler video, the dog that jumped up on his back, another dog might not like that at all and could have reacted to it. So thinking about how you have yourself positioned and keeping the leashes in that straight line will reduce risk. You'll have to coach the other handler on what to do. And in most of the videos, if you go back and look at them again, you will see that one of the handlers generally stayed in place and did not move. That way, we know that dog is not going to get further than that, and then the other person can come up and approach. But of course, Cameron and I do this every day. So thinking back through then, one of the things about play bows, why it's so key, is that it's one of the ways dogs can avoid conflict. So if it's a little bit tension, a moment of tension, if one of the dogs throws a play bow, that is magic. And if any of these videos, if 2 of those dogs had thrown a play bow at the same time, you would have seen us simultaneously dropping our leash. That is like the automatic, the dogs know what they're doing, we're going to trust them. Now, we leave the leash on because if something happens, we can grab the leash and we can keep our hands away from the dog's face. So thinking back through the things to watch for are the things that I think I pay attention to. I didn't talk too much about tail in this video, but you have probably seen some of my fearful videos and such, but a tail down like a fish hook or the letter J is a big, big fear sign. So beware of that. If it's a sloppy helicopter kind of wag, that's a really, really good sign. How stiff is the body? If the body is relaxed and loose, that's a good sign. If the body is stiff, that's something to pay attention to. And when do they throw a play bow? And do they throw a play bow? A lot of times we will notice, or we always notice, did the dog throw a play bow or did the dog not throw a play bow? So that's a pretty key thing for us as well. So I hope you find these valuable, and good luck.